this video, we're just going to look at the differences between the TwoNav Cross Plus GPS device and the Terra GPS device. It might just help you when you're looking to make a decision on which one to go for. The units are virtually identical on what they can do. There's just a couple of slight changes other than the obvious dimensions as you see them laid out in front of me. So the one on the left hand side is the Cross Plus, and the one on the right hand side, the larger one, is the Terra. So when we look at the screen sizes, the Cross Plus is 3.2 inch across the diagonal, and the Terra is a 3.7 inch across the diagonal. On both of these units, I've got the Ordnance Survey 1 to 25 maps loaded. That's one of the options we have on our website to go with the units. So they've both got exactly the same map loaded. I've put them in north-up orientation just so it's easier when you're watching this video. So we'll do the physical dimensions next. So when you look at the two units side by side, the width on the smaller Cross Plus is 63mm compared to 80mm on the wider Terra. Height-wise, there's not a lot in it. The Cross Plus is 110mm high millimeters, and the Terra 115mm high. And when we look at the depth, that's very similar as well. The Cross Plus is the one that's 21mm depth, and it's 19mm on the Terra. That doesn't take into account the quick lock attachment that they've both got on the back for attaching the free cycle mount that comes with both units, and also other accessories such as the backpack tether and the carabiner clip. But they both come in the box. I'll just show you that now so you can see they both actually do come with the bike mount. So that locks on the attachment on the back, and you get some rings that lock that in place on your cycle bars. So that is included in the box, and both of the units come with a USB-C cable for charging the built-in lithium-ion batteries. So we're now just going to do the actual battery and the weight of the units because they've got slightly different batteries in the unit. So the Cross Plus lithium-ion battery has a life of approximately 20 hours, and the Terra is 15 hours. It has a slightly smaller battery. When we talk about battery life, the nice thing is with the Cross Plus figures, this is actually based on the screen being on all of the time and at 50% backlight and GPS recording. So the screens that I've got on at the moment are both on at 50% backlight. There's many ways you can save battery. One of the easiest is just to have the screen go off after so many seconds, or both units have a button on the side that allows you to quickly take the screen off when you want, but it's still recording in the background. And when we look at the weights of the unit, the Cross Plus, the slightly more compact unit, is 172 grams, and the Terra on the right is 198 grams. So really that's the main differences physically. It's the battery life is slightly longer on the TwoNav Cross Plus, with it being a smaller unit and a smaller screen that's not drawing as much battery, and it actually has a slightly bigger battery in capacity, and obviously the dimensions. Now when you're actually using the units, all of the features and functions are exactly the same, bar one feature which I'm just going to show you. In the units you can set up various alarms. It could be an alarm to say you're arriving at a waypoint, or a very popular one is that you've went off course. If you go off course, both units will alert you you've went off course. Now with the Terra on the right hand side, if I just bring up the status screen at the top, we've actually got an option here in the audio of volume. Now on the Cross Plus, I'll just go into the same status screen, we can turn off and mute the audio, but there's no volume control. It's either muted or it's on. So on both of them you can mute it. So the volume control on this one is only set at 30% at the minute. If I knock it up one, you're going to hear it really loud. So I'm just going to knock it up one. That gives you an idea of the volume. So it's got a volume control. The other changes, so I'm just going to go into the main menu on the unit, and I'm just going to go into the main menu on the Cross Plus. When you actually set up the alarms, what you can actually do is have different tone settings on the Terra, whereas the Cross Plus is just a standard double beep. We can't actually change that. So I'm just going to go into the settings on both units and into the alarm settings, and that'll give you an idea what we're talking about. So I'm just going to go into the actual main settings for the alarms, and I'll do that on this unit as well, and that will just give you a nice idea on the different settings. And that is really the differences on the units. Otherwise, everything else is exactly the same on how they work. So we've got a deviation from route alarm set, which I can see on the top on this one, and the top on the Cross Plus. So it's just setting in a distance. So if I deviate a certain distance, an alarm will go off. That can be adjusted. But what you can see on the Cross Plus on the left hand side, it's either sound alarm or you would turn it off. Obviously, we talked about muting the sound. You do get an alert on the screen as well. We can repeat the alarm as well. But the difference on the Cross Plus, where it says tone, you don't get that option on the Cross Plus, you don't get the option of tone. So on the Terra on the right, we've got the option of tone. And then I go down this list, there's different noises that you can set, and you can do this for all of the alarms. So I'll just give you an idea. And that's only at 30%, 40% volume, and another one. So there's loads of different tones you can have. You can mute it, remember, so don't be worrying about frightening people when you're out walking. You can have it as just a single beep. And of course, we can turn that volume down, or you can simply mute them or turn them off. But on the Cross Plus, we don't have that option. What I'm going to do is actually just turn on some waypoints on the Cross Plus and just see if I can get it to give me an alert, because I have got a waypoint alarm set, and it'll give you an idea of the volume. So I'm just going to go into the settings and just unhide some waypoints that I've got stored in here, just so we can see one on the screen. So I've got a waypoint close by to where I am on the map, and what I'm actually going to do is just start a recording. What may happen, I can't guarantee this because we're not outside walking with the unit, but normally as you start walking and whatever distance I've set, which I've got an alarm set, it'll tell me I'm arriving close to a waypoint, and you should hear the tone noise. So I'm just going to start the recording now and just do it as a simple recording. That was the noise you heard. So that gives you an idea. You do get the alert on the screen, but you don't get the option of volume control or the different tones. Other than that, they're really the same unit. So what I'm actually going to do, just have a move around on the map, because of course most choices would be going for the bigger one for the bigger screen and viewing the map. So I'll give you an idea what that looks like. So what I'm actually going to do on the small unit, I'm just going to hide those waypoints so they're out of the way, so both screens actually look the same. So just hidden the waypoints now. So now you can see I've got both of them the same. They're actually both set at the same scale. So what you can do on both units, you can tap on the screen and there's actually a plus and minus for zooming in and out, or you can use, both of them have got exactly the same button control on the sides. So they've both got plus and minus on the left hand side. They've both got a back button that takes the map back to where you are. So if you need to move the map back to where you are, you can just hit the button rather than the icon on the screen, and it recenters. And they've both got a button on the side, the power button, that lets you turn the screen off as well. But on both units, we can zoom in and out. So I'm just going to zoom in on the one on the left, and then I'm just going to zoom in on the bigger one, get it at a similar scale, just seeing what scale I've actually got that one at. And it just gives you an idea. You're seeing more on the screen, of course, on the bigger screen. And that's the main difference, really. You're getting that bigger screen. And of course, it's bigger menus as well if you're tapping on anything on the screen itself. And then we can move the map around and look further ahead. And we can do exactly the same on this unit. We can move it further ahead. And then if we do need to recenter it, there's a little icon either on the screen or the back arrow, and then I'll just zoom out on both of these just again, so we've just got them at a bigger scale again, and I'll do exactly the same on this one, and just tap on there, just bring my hand around so I can tap on there, we go, just wasn't putting enough pressure on, and there you go, they're both at a very similar scale. Again, I'll just zoom this one out once more, or should I say zoom it in, that's my mistake, just so they're both exactly the same. And just go out one more. There we go. And this one here, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit closer as well. Might help if I go the right way. There we go. I just wanted to get them both at the same sort of level. So we've actually got a ruler bar at the bottom so you can see that's the same level. Sorry, that was just me trying to put my hands around the camera. You've got to just hold your finger on the plus and minus to zoom in and out, and I wasn't putting any pressure on the screen. But you can see now there, that's the main difference. The map quality regarding the pixels and colours looks exactly the same on both units. It's really just getting that if you're wanting that bigger screen. Now, one final thing I should have mentioned, you may have noticed there's actually an extra button on the Terra. It is a touchscreen button, so we've got this little circle at the bottom middle that we don't have on the Cross Plus. What that does as default is take the unit to the main menu. Now, on both units, you've got the 3 white bars on the touchscreen that take it to the main menu. So you might be thinking, well, what's the advantage of that button? You can, within the settings of the unit, program what the different buttons do. So you can actually make a button do something different than its default. So what you can actually do with the Terra is say you want this button to do something like mark a waypoint, swap map view, various things, start recording. So it just gives you an advantage that there's the extra button there that you can program. So apologies, I should have mentioned that. But again, really fundamentally, they're the same other than the sizes and those tone and sound settings. So I hope you found this video useful. It's helping you make your decision. We tend to find the smaller compact unit very popular with trail runners or someone who's wanting something just a little bit slimmer and more compact to put in, say, a small pouch on the front of your backpack. Remember, though, both units, we do the carabiner mounts and the backpack tethers. Someone looking just for that slightly bigger unit, it might be you're going to mount it on a mountain bike, or just when you're hiking, you want that bigger screen. The Terra unit, of course, has that bigger screen. So I hope you found this video useful, and thanks for watching.